Hello, my friend of shared destiny. When the last light in the room has been turned off and the surrounding space sinks into absolute silence, your body has been placed upon a soft bed. On the surface, it seems as though you are resting completely. But try to listen a little deeper inside. Somewhere within your muscle fibers, are you still silently tensing and holding on? Your shoulders have not yet fully dropped. Your spine still holds a bit of rigidity, and your chest does not yet dare to let go entirely. It seems as though a part of you is still trying to stand firm, even though your feet are no longer touching the ground. Throughout the 10+ hours of the day, strength was necessary. You had to be strong to carry responsibilities, to face pressure, and to not collapse before the storms of life. Your body has learned to tighten, maintaining muscle tone to keep you in the posture of a warrior. But the tragedy lies in the fact that when night falls, that strength is no longer a protective shield. It becomes a burden. We often mistakenly believe that we need to maintain our steadfastness even in sleep to be safe. But my dear friend, it is that silent tensing, that very notion of must not collapse, which is the greatest barrier separating you from recovery. Please breathe gently and engrave this reminder in your heart. At night, the body doesn't heal by staying strong. It heals when it's finally allowed to be weak. Tonight, I do not invite you to become more resilient. I invite you to do something braver than that, to allow yourself to soften, to collapse, and to rely entirely on support. Weakness is not danger. My dear friend, there is a hidden fear that often prevents us from surrendering completely, the false belief that, if I let go, I will collapse, I will shatter. We have grown so accustomed to tensing ourselves that we view weakness as a sign of danger, of losing control. But look back at the biological truth of your body. Your body is not broken. The exhaustion you are feeling is not evidence of helplessness, but the price paid for holding yourself for too long. Even though night has fallen and there are no more threats in this safe bedroom, your nervous system, by force of habit, maintains the defensive posture of the day. It is still standing in a combat stance, even though there is no enemy. Please understand that what exhausts the body isn't weakness. It's the refusal to rest from strength. Tonight, weakness is not a mistake. It is the most necessary state for life to return. The 3-minute ritual, allowing yourself to really entirely. Now, as you lie still in the embrace of the soothing darkness, let us enter tonight's core ritual. Please note that this ritual is entirely different from what you may have practiced before. We will not try to control the breath, nor do we need to place hands on the heart or belly, observe thoughts, or perform any intervention. The central axis of this ritual revolves around a single act, allowing the body to rely entirely. We will learn to turn off the self-support mode that you have kept on all day long. We begin the first minute with a gentle recognition of the places where the body is still silently tensing. My dear friend, even though you have lain down, by habit, your muscle bundles often still hold a bit of force, as if they fear that if they let go completely, you will fall into an abyss. Bring your attention to your neck. Is it still slightly stiff, trying to support the weight of your head on its own? Observe your back and spine. Are they still trying to stay straight, maintaining a proper posture even though no one is watching? And notice your abdomen. Is it tightening to guard your emotions? Please do not rush to fix it, nor try to force them to relax immediately. You only need to realize, my body is still trying to support itself. That awareness is the first step in removing the invisible armor. Acknowledge that your body is maintaining an unnecessary effort, and that effort is hindering deep sleep. Moving to the second minute, I invite you to perform a transfer of power. Shift from the state of self-holding to the state of being supported. Feel the surface of the bed beneath your back. It is soft, solid, and vast. It is there to carry the entire weight of your being. You do not need to help the bed do that. You do not need to keep yourself light so the bed gets less tired. Allow the weight of your body to be poured down. Do not push hard. Do not try to drop, but let it sink naturally, according to the Earth's gravity. Visualize as if you are returning the weight of flesh and bone, of fatigue, and of worries to Mother Earth. Tell every muscle fiber in your shoulders and back, you don't need to hold yourself up anymore. The ground has taken care of it. The feeling of being held is the most primal sense of safety that we often forget. Let that soft surface embrace you and carry the weight for you. And now, whisper to your nervous system the core mantra of this ritual. In silence, without speaking aloud, let this thought spread. Tonight, I don't need to support myself. Please feel the vibration of those words. Throughout a long day, you had to stand on your own 2 feet, solve your own problems, and protect yourself. You have self-supported for too long, but tonight is the exception. Night is the time you are allowed to be weak, allowed to be dependent. You do not need to be strong anymore. This sentence is the permit for your body to collapse, to dissolve, and to find refuge. No need to repeat it many times like an exercise. No need to try and create any special feeling. Just send that message once, completely. I don't need to support myself anymore. We come to the third minute, the moment of staying still in the state of being supported. Now, you do not need to do anything. Do not seek relaxation. Do not wait for sleep. Just lie there and feel the weight of the body lying still. Let the body do whatever it wants to do. You do not need to monitor whether it is relaxing correctly or not. You do not need to ask, am I safe yet? Am I doing this right? Those questions are manifestations of tensing. Let go of even the need to know. Let this physical frame lie there, heavy, motionless, and without the need to prove its strength to anyone. Perhaps at this moment, you will feel the body become very heavy, as if sinking deep into the seabed. Or you may feel yourself turning soft, like melting candle wax. Or perhaps you feel nothing special at all, just a quiet normalcy. Remember that. Nothing special means the body is no longer proving strength. When you no longer support yourself, when you entrust your entire weight to the universe, that is when true rest begins. You are completely supported. You are safe. Fatal error warning. Don't turn relaxation into a command. My dear friend, even when you have the intention of allowing the body to find refuge, there is an extremely subtle psychological trap lurking to ruin your peace. That is the mistake of trying. We often get stuck in the mindset that relaxation is an exercise that must be done correctly, and that softness is a state that must be achieved through willpower. You lie there, but your mind begins to scrutinize. Have I really relaxed yet? Why is my shoulder still this stiff? or I need to try to surrender even more. Please be careful, because the moment you try to be weak, you have unintentionally returned to a state of strength. Effort. Even effort to relax is still a form of tensing. You are using your will to command your body, and this creates a sharp internal conflict. Your body cannot follow a command to become soft. Imagine your body is like a child cowering in fear. If you stand before that child and command strictly, "Relax right now," let go immediately. Can the child do it? Certainly not. Your severity and imposition only make the child more stressed and defensive. It will tighten its limbs even more to protect itself from your command. Your body reacts exactly the same way. Every coercion, even in the name of healing, is viewed by the nervous system as a threat. This is the deepest truth about the neurological mechanism that I want you to engrave in your heart tonight. The body can't be weak on command. It becomes weak when it feels safe. Weakness or complete surrender is not a technique for you to practice until proficient. It is a natural state that will automatically appear when safety is established. Your task is not to force the muscles to go limp, but to create an atmosphere of unconditional acceptance. Therefore, if you notice your shoulders are still stiff, don't fix it. Don't force them down. Say to them, "I see you are tensed, and that's okay. You are allowed to be tensed if you want." Strangely, that very permission, that very cessation of fighting, is the most powerful signal of safety. When the body realizes it is not being judged or forced to change, it will automatically shed its defensive armor. Tonight, give up the role of a trainer trying to adjust the body. Become a kind mother, simply sitting there, present, and encompassing every state of the child. Do not look for perfect relaxation. Accept the incompleteness. When you stop commanding, the body will begin to hear the soothing call of sleep. Compassion for the body. When strength becomes violence. My dear friend, when we look deep into the relationship between ourselves and our bodies, we realize a painful but necessary truth for awakening. That is, we often treat our bodies as a tool to be commanded, rather than a friend to be loved. Look back at your daytime life. The world out there demands you be strong. You must be resilient to overcome work pressure, flexible to care for your family, and tough to avoid being hurt by judgments. In the sunlight, strength is a precious quality, a shield that helps you survive and thrive. We are taught that tensing ourselves to endure is a good virtue, and that ignoring pain to complete a task is a manifestation of iron will. But when night falls, when the bedroom door has closed, if you continue to maintain that must be strong attitude toward your body, it is no longer a good virtue. It becomes a form of subtle violence. Imagine your body is like a soldier who has fought continuously for 10+ hours on the front lines. That soldier is exhausted, limbs weary, covered in the invisible wounds of stress. When night comes, what that soldier needs most is not shouting words of encouragement like, "Keep going, be stronger." What that soldier desperately craves is for someone to say, "It's enough. You can lower your weapon. You are allowed to rest." In the wisdom of Buddhism, compassion, metta, is not just a feeling we have for external beings, but first and foremost, it must be what we have for this very 5 aggregate body we are carrying. We often think compassion is doing good deeds or helping others. But we are unintentionally cruel to ourselves when we force the body to bear weight beyond its endurance. We ignore the cry for help from a backache. We disregard the fatigue of the eyes, and we force the nervous system to continue operating even when it is depleted. The endurance that we are so proud of at night is the greatest barrier to healing. Enduring means you are compressing energy, tightening muscle bundles to support some pressure. Endurance is a state of war, not of peace, and the body cannot heal during wartime. Engrave this core philosophical sentence in your heart. It will completely change how you treat yourself from now on. Healing begins when the body is no longer asked to endure. When you say to your body, "I don't need you to endure anything more tonight," you are removing a weight of 1,000 pounds. You are signing a peace treaty with yourself. You allow the tensed muscles to melt. You allow the suppressed breaths to burst forth. You allow weakness to be present as a guest of honor, because only in that weakness does life have the opportunity to regenerate. Practice this compassion with a yielding attitude. Don't force the body to sleep, just so it has the strength to work tomorrow. That is still a subtle form of exploitation. Let the body sleep simply because it deserves to sleep. Let it rest because you love it, not because you want to repair it to continue using it. True love is unconditional acceptance. You accept your body as it is, aching, tired, aging, or ill. You do not loathe it. You do not abandon it. You embrace it with all your appreciation. When the body feels that love, it will no longer feel alone in the struggle for survival. It will know it has a companion in you. And that deep sense of safety will activate the most powerful healing hormones, leading you into sleep not by coercion, but by the gentleness of a mother's love. Tonight, become your own kind mother. Caress the thin shoulders, soothe the wrinkled brow. Say sorry for forcing the body to carry so much, and give it the most precious gift, the right to collapse, the right to be weak, and the right to rely entirely on the darkness. That is the peak of practice. It is how you bring the Dharma into your very sleep. Handing power to sleep when no one has to stand firm anymore. My dear friend, once we have embraced the body with compassion and allowed weakness to be present, you have walked 99 steps on the path towards sleep. But there is one last step, the thinnest invisible boundary that we need to gently cross. That is letting go of the very notion of a person who is trying to let go. There is a paradoxical truth. Sleep absolutely never comes when you try to surrender. Because the moment you tell yourself you must relax, you must let go, there still exists a doer within you. There is still a holder trying to control the situation. There is still an endurer waiting for the moment the pain or fatigue vanishes. There is still a tensor using will to command the nervous system to enter sleep. As long as those characters are awake to stand guard, sleep does not yet have the space to enter. Engrave this profound truth in your heart. Sleep begins when the body no longer needs to stay upright inside. Think about that. Even though your physical body is lying flat on the mattress, if your mind is still in an upright posture, meaning it is still alert and ready to cope, still tensing itself to be a pillar, then you haven't truly lain down yet. To fall into a deep sleep, you must allow your entire internal psychological framework to collapse safely. You don't need to maintain an image. You don't need to be a brave warrior. Nor do you need to be a skilled meditator trying to relax correctly. Tonight, perform the greatest and gentlest transfer of power. Tell the diligent sentries within you that the shift has ended. No one needs to stand firm anymore. You do not need to witness the moment you fall asleep. Trying to monitor whether you are asleep yet is the final chain binding you to alertness. Hand over all decision-making power to the darkness. Hand this body over to the earth's gravity. Let life operate on its own. The feeling now is like you are drifting on a peaceful river in the dark of night. You don't need to steer. You pull your hands away from the oars. You are no longer the operator of the boat. You become a part of the water. When no one is trying, no one is waiting, and no one has to carry anything, the sweet dissolution will take place. Your consciousness will fade away, dissolving into the silent space. That is absolute submission, the most miraculous gift you can give yourself after a long, weary day. You are completely free. My dear friend, before we part in the silence of the night, I want to send you one final message to protect your soul tomorrow morning. We often have an unconscious habit. As soon as we open our eyes upon waking, we immediately check and evaluate whether we slept well last night, whether we truly managed to relax, or if our body's aches and pains have vanished. And if the answer is no, we rush into disappointment, thinking this ritual is ineffective and that we have failed at letting go. But please remember this truth. True healing is never a single event occurring after one night. It is not a flash miracle. Healing is the creation of a climate of tolerance within the body. There will be nights when you find becoming weak is very easy. Your body softens like water and sinks into sleep immediately. But there will also be nights when old habits of tensing arise strongly, and your body still holds on to stubborn stiffness despite your best efforts to allow it to rest. That is completely normal. It is the natural rhythm of life. Please do not be quick to judge a restless night as a useless night. Do not be quick to judge your body as stubborn just because it has not yet met your expectations. What matters is not how long you slept or what percentage you managed to relax. What matters is that you dared to initiate the intention of allowing. As long as you persistently send out the signal of safety, whether the body receives it right away or not, the seed of healing has already been sown. Your nervous system is like a child, accustomed to living in a harsh environment. It needs time to relearn how to trust in safety. Your task is not to force the health tree to grow fast in one night, but to patiently maintain an atmosphere of unconditional acceptance. I want to give you one final phrase. A mantra to dissolve all the burdens of effort in your consciousness right now. You don't heal by becoming stronger in the darkness. You heal because you are no longer obligated to be anything anymore. You don't heal by becoming stronger at night. You heal by no longer having to be. When you stop trying to become a healthier, more peaceful version of yourself, it is that very stopping. That is the medicine. When you accept your weakness, your fatigue, and your incompleteness as an inevitable part of yourself, natural peace will find a place to return. Trust in the wisdom of life flowing through your veins. It knows how to bring you home, as long as you do not block its path with the effort of your will. To anchor this state of absolute freedom before falling into sleep, and to turn weakness into a nurturing power, I invite you to leave a gentle comment below this video. Write down the mantra, "Tonight, I let my body be weak." Tonight, I let my body be weak. When you write those words, you are sending a signal of peace to the entire universe within you. The war has ended. No one has to carry the burden anymore. No one has to be strong anymore. Only you and pure rest remain. Thank you for trusting and for bravely facing your own fragility. May the gentle darkness embrace you and protect your sleep, making it deep and peaceful. Everything is fine. You are safe. Goodbye, and see you in the fresh light of tomorrow. Good night.